Hello lovely humans of the internet, and welcome back for another video. How are we all doing today? I just thought I would sit down and film a slightly more serious video, just kind of chat through what's been going on with me, what's been happening. To be fair, to be completely honest, it's been sort of a stressful like maybe month or so, actually even kind of summer. To be fair, like the summer has been quite intense. And I feel like I've sort of been disconnected in regards to YouTube and everything, and just not really feeling it in regards to YouTube either. Just like not wanting to make videos, not really feeling like my videos are really being enjoyed by anyone. Like not by anyone, like I know there's some of you out there who watch every single one, and I just really appreciate that, and it means the world to me. I think I was just feeling a bit discouraged in regards to YouTube, and I just wasn't really feeling creative with any of the stuff I was doing. I decided, it's like the sun has just decided right now it's just going to poke out right in my eyes. But I'd already set up here and I don't really want to move, so I'm just going to stay there. So yeah, I just thought I'd kind of chat you guys through basically like what's been happening last month, like the last 3 months maybe or so. Because to be fair, I don't really think I've been doing very many vlogs or anything that time. So I feel like there's been maybe like quite a big gap in terms of like my life. If any of you are interested, you might not be. But yeah, so I suppose starting back in like June even, we literally were in lockdown for the first 6 months of the year, which I think in itself was quite intense. And I think to some degree I've kind of blocked it out, and I actually don't even really remember what happened in that time. I don't per se remember doing anything, partially because we probably didn't do anything. But like I think I just kind of blocked out the fact that we were literally in lockdown for 6 months nearly, and I literally didn't see anyone. Like I didn't see anyone except Darren, like literally for 6 months, which is just kind of crazy to be fair. So yeah, so that's how the summer kind of started. We came out in like the middle of May-ish time, I'm gonna say. No, not even. Yeah, no. We started to get released sort of in May-ish time, and then we kind of were more released by like June. I remember because it was my birthday, and then just after my birthday we did something, because I think it was like the 8th of June or something, we were allowed to kind of do more things. So yeah, so that's how the summer started. And then like literally like a week after that we shot a wedding. So we did the photos on the wedding, Darren and myself together. It was technically our first official wedding, like as like the two of us shooting it together, if that makes sense. Like we've both done weddings separately, in terms of like I used to work for a photographer, so I used to shoot second shooter for weddings quite a lot. But then Darren's done a few of himself. He's done some weddings too. But we actually hadn't shot one together, just the two of us. So yeah, it was our technically a first official one. And that was super fun. So we did that, and we went to Galway for that, and we just like spent a few days there as well, because obviously that was kind of just after we were out of lockdown. So we spent a few days there, and we kind of had like sort of like a little mini holiday, which was so lovely. And then to be fair, like the next few weeks we had like weddings. My brother-in-law got married, so we had that, and like there was just so much going on. We had another wedding up north. Like it was just a hectic little while. It was lovely, like it was so nice just going everywhere. And then like remember I had a work trip where I had to go down to Kerry, and then I was like, it was like one of those things where like I remember I literally was like back and forth from places like ridiculous amount. Like it was something like, so I'm trying to think what started. So we went up north like right at the beginning of June, then we were back, then we went to Galway, then we were back, then I think we were in Sligo, then we were back. Like it was literally like, it was something crazy. Like it was literally like I was back for like 2 days, and then I was off again somewhere. Like it was just hectic for a little while, and it was actually like, it was nice, but it was just so hectic. But yeah, so then we kind of hit like end of July time, and everything with Jose was coming. Obviously, if you haven't seen any of my more recent videos, I started a clothing brand, which is kind of part of where this whole thing probably is from as well. Like the kind of current way I was feeling with stuff and stuff was partly based on that. But so I was obviously in the process of setting that up and starting that off and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think what I was going to say now. I launched that on the 31st of July. But obviously that was a lot happening in the running up to that, like just planning and organizing and just getting everything ready. which was quite intense and just terrifying. There's something about like putting yourself out there in a way that is just like nothing else scary. Like it's just, you just feel so like vulnerable, and so like people could just tell you that you're stupid. Yeah, I don't know, there's just something about putting yourself out there that's just so scary. One of my friends was saying something about like when you tell your friends, like when you tell people your dreams and they become real kind of thing. And that's literally it. Like it's like releasing your dream to the world, and it's just scary because it's like someone could just tell you that it's a stupid dream to have or something. So that was kind of intense a little while, and I think I just got quite stressed out maybe. I don't know, I put so much pressure on myself for it to go so well, and for it to like do a certain way. Because I think when you see like, often when you see people like launching things, it's like influencers or celebrities like launching something and they already have been successful in terms of like they already have a huge following, or they already have whatever. I'm not like taking down their success. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, because to be fair, for the fact that they got to that point means they worked hard for it, if that makes sense. But I think sometimes then if you're someone who is smaller and you're like, you don't per se have any following, or you don't have anything to base it off, like you don't have 6 million followers to buy your products, then I think you like have this kind of, I'm gonna say like I literally cannot think of the word, like you have like a misconception. Yeah, misconception. You have a misconception as to what it should go like, because all you ever see is big famous people doing things and it being a success from get-go, because it's like, oh well, have whatever 500,000 followers and I'm gonna release this and I only have like 1,000 items to sell. But like obviously if you have 500,000 followers and you're selling 1,000 items, the chance of like 1,000 of your 500,000 followers buying something is quite likely, if that makes sense. So I think like what I imagined was something that was like based on not reality, if that makes sense. So I think like it is one of those things that you have to really like not play comparison game, and like not base your like understanding of how it should go or what should happen or how many sales you should get or whatever based on that, if that makes sense. I don't really know where I was going at this point, and I feel like I've confused myself now. But anyway, let's go back to talking about like what was happening. So obviously we launched on the 31st and that was great. It was such a fun night. Like my family came over and like they kind of helped me pack orders and stuff, and it was so lovely, and it was just like, it was great to see like orders being made. So also thank you to anyone who ordered. Like I really appreciate it, like literally more than you know. Like it's such like a cool thing to see like your dream, I suppose, doing something, and I suppose people enjoying it, so thank you. But then literally 31st, on the 1st of August, it was a Sunday, Darren woke up with COVID symptoms, and gosh, yeah, I cried that whole day, the next whole day, probably half of the following day too. So obviously we went and we got him COVID tested and came back positive, and like we social distanced from each other, and I like locked him in his room and everything, because yeah. So basically we were due to go over to the UK because we finally were able to, we finally had the leave, all that kind of thing. We had a wedding in Manchester area, and then we also had we were going to meet my nephew, because I'm not sure if I really shared much about it on here. My sister and her husband are adopting, so he was born like 4 months ago now. Yeah, he's about 4 months, 4.5 probably now actually, months old, and I hadn't got to meet him yet because they're not allowed to obviously leave the country until there's so much legality around it. But so basically I had to go over to obviously to meet him, and I obviously wasn't able to go over yet until this time. And so Darren got COVID symptoms on the Sunday and we were due to fly on the Wednesday, and oh, my heart just sank. Like obviously I was concerned for Darren as well. Like I think that was part of the thing, was that there was so many emotions that I was feeling. Like I was so worried about Darren, because obviously I know there's always the fear that you might be the one, well, like your husband or whoever had, you know what I mean, might be the one who like gets COVID really badly, like ends up in hospital or something. And so I think to agree if there was that worry, like that wasn't huge because obviously he's young and he's fit, and so it's definitely less likely, but I think there was still like that worry at the back of my mind. And then there was obviously just like the crushing disappointment because like we hadn't been away in like 2 years, and this was like our first time like literally leaving the country at all. We were obviously going to a wedding which I was looking forward to, but like specifically just to go meet my nephew, like I was just so crushed. I just think I was also like, I definitely think there was feelings of like frustration there towards Darren. I was like, how could you get COVID? Like obviously it wasn't his fault. Like in like when we actually look at the situation and like when he got COVID, and he was talking to a friend of his, like a friend of ours, like literally like outside, they were outside for probably 5 minutes having a chat, literally that's all. Like he wouldn't have even been considered like a close contact or whatever. But yeah, so he got COVID off him, and he literally just got his first jab as well the same week. So he got COVID on the Sunday, we think. He got his jab on the Tuesday, and then he had symptoms on the following Sunday. So yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster of a few days. I think like I was just so heartbroken. I was just like, I think it was also like the fact that then I had to social distance from Darren, like because I was still meant to be working, and obviously there was a possibility that I could maybe still go over to the UK. So I was kind of just in this thing of like, no, you need to stay away from me. Like I can't get COVID off you. Although I am fully vaccinated and the chances are meant to be quite low, but like everyone always is like, well, you can still get COVID kind of thing. And I was kind of like, oh flip, like I was just like so stressed out. And obviously I'm upset, I'm confused, I'm frustrated. And like Darren's the one I want to like comfort me in that time. And literally I couldn't even sit in the same room as him and talk to him. Like I had to like lock him in his room. Like one great thing was actually the weather was kind of okay for that time, so we did a lot of like sitting outside in our garden, and like we'd sit away from each other, and like we put the fire on and stuff in the evenings, and we watched Love Island, and that was literally like our saving grace, just having that time. But yeah, it was a very emotional few days. Obviously got him tested, he came back positive. I also got myself tested, although it wasn't likely I would have known yet, but mine was negative. And then I did antigen tests kind of like every day. And finally kind of once I got over my like emotional just like explosion. Also, I was thinking about it after, and I was like, to be fair, I think although yes, the situation was very stressful, I think a part of the emotional breakdown was like the fact, like it was just like the stress of everything COVID, like the whole, like the past 18 months. Like I think it was like the build up of all that time, and just like the complete like, because like it's one of those things, like I don't think we all will be aware of like the effect that this last 18 months had on us for a while. And I think it was one of those times where like I really realized, gosh, why am I getting emotional? This has like literally happened. I think it was just one of those times where I just really realized like what, yeah, that like this time has been hard, and it has been hard on everyone. And I think I really started to realize how hard it was on other people who've been in so much worse situations than me. Like I'm literally complaining that I can't go on a holiday. Like that broke me. Like I know there's so many people who have lost family members to COVID and have had so many worse situations than mine. And I just like, I think it really dawned on me like the effect that this has had on so many people, like the hugely just traumatic, like it's literally like a traumatic experience for like the whole world, like, which is just mad. But yeah, like I don't know if we're gonna fully see the effect of that for a while, because I feel like I hadn't really seen the effects of it on myself until that happened, like until I had like that situation that just like was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Is that the saying? The straw that broke the camel's back? Yeah. And it just like poured out of me, like just all the emotions and the stress, all in like one situation. But anyway, so after about 2 days, once I kind of calmed down and like we kind of got the hang of like Darren being like away locked in the room, like I was sleeping on the floor in the spare room, which was just not fun. But anyway, we kind of chatted about it, and we were trying to decide what to do, and basically we looked at all the advice from the government and all that kind of stuff, and it basically said that I could still do whatever I wanted basically because I'm fully vaccinated. As a close contact, you don't have to really do anything. But obviously part of me was really worried because I was like, just think like I am the most likely person to have got COVID from Darren. even obviously vaccinated and everything, I was like, this is a high possibility that I would have got it from him, kind of thing. So I think that really like stressed me out, because I was so worried about giving it to other people, or well, I think probably mainly that. And like, so I really didn't want to go to the wedding or anything, because I was like, I'm just gonna be stressed the whole time. I'm gonna want to wear a mask the whole time, because it is in England, and in England there were like no rules in regards to mask wearing or anything. Like, it was literally like free for all kind of thing. So it was one of those ones I was like, I would just be so stressed the whole time. Darren won't be there, I'll be worrying about Darren, like it just won't be good. So I was like, right, I'm not going to go to the wedding, because that just won't be a good idea, and I'll wait until like Saturday. So I decided to wait until Saturday, and I booked the flight to go on Saturday morning instead, just straight to see my sister and meet my nephew. So basically I was kind of like, right, by Saturday, like I'll know how Darren's doing, like Darren will be like basically should mainly recover by then, so that means I'll have the peace of mind in regards to leaving him here. And then also by Saturday I'll know for sure if I have got it, because I will be showing symptoms by then. So I basically kept testing every day, went for a PCR the day before as well, before I flew, or the day before that, like the Thursday. So I got it on the Friday and it was still negative, and I just kept antigen testing, and they all came back negative. I didn't get it from Darren. And then I went over this Saturday, and Darren kind of then had like the next 4 days of just like the house to himself, so he didn't have to be like cleaning the bathroom and like everything he touched. Like I was like, you have to clean everything, and like don't come near me, and like wearing a mask in the house and stuff. So like actually I like felt so much better, because he had the whole house to just like do his own thing, and it actually was so much easier like being actually apart than like being apart like literally in like a different room from each other. It was like the weirdest experience. But yeah, so that's kind of been the last little while. So obviously I came back, and then we decided to go away for a couple of days, which was so lovely. And now life, I feel like starting to get a little bit back to normal again. Like in some ways, like I just feel like we're starting to kind of settle back into like normal life slightly, which is great. So yeah, so I suppose like I think just maybe the hecticness of life has just got me really like discouraged in regards to YouTube or something. I don't know what it is. Like I just feel like I've just not had any interest in making videos, and it's just like it's just not been exciting, which really like upset me, because I really enjoyed making them, and I really have for like the last little while. And like actually last week's video, like I really enjoyed making that one for you guys, and you guys seem to really like it. Like it's like literally my most popular video in absolutely ages. So I do think after this serious video I'm definitely going to be doing more of those kind of videos, because I feel like they're the kind of ones you like to see, and like you like seem to enjoy watching them, and like get by far the most views and most comments and like likes and stuff. So obviously not that's what it's about, but it's more just like it shows me that you like them more if more people watching them and stuff, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I suppose yeah, I've just been a bit with everything, and I think especially after starting Hosea, I think I was kind of like I was touching on it before about how like it's just been so hard to feel like I'm doing a good job, I think, because I'm constantly comparing myself to other people who've done the same thing, or people who were doing a similar thing, or people who were doing this or that or whatever. And I think I just like constantly I'm comparing myself, and I'm like, there's this quote, and it's something like, it's like comparison is like the thief of joy or something. I think that's the quote, and it's just so true. And I actually said this light is like getting more and more dramatic as we go, but it's just so true though. Like, and I feel like it was one of those, I actually came to realization actually today, and I was like, Debs, why are you putting so much pressure on yourself? Like, you're doing great. Like, stop worrying about all these things, like the fact that you're not already got whatever 10,000 followers, or like I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? And like I just don't even know why. Like it's just like I think it's just that we live like in this world where like you just see everyone else's success. Like, well, maybe, you know what, maybe it is like, maybe it's partly because obviously to a degree where I'm looking to try to be successful like in the kind of world, if that makes sense, I suppose to some degree is on social media, because obviously I'm kind of, my shop front in some ways with Hosea is on social media, although obviously I have my website and stuff. Like it's very much like, this is really dramatic lighting, Goodness me. Right, let's try and make it less dramatic. Okay. Obviously to some degree, like my shop face and all is on social media, so to some degree like it very much is like where it's based, and so obviously this in some ways like that's where you're trying to be successful, if that makes sense. So I think with social media, like you see so many people who are just more successful than you, and I think it's just like it really like it just brings out a comparison in you, which is just so horrible, and it really doesn't make you feel good, and it's not beneficial, because then I just was getting so anxious and so stressed about like what to do, what I'm gonna do, and this is gonna happen, what I need to do, this and I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do that. And I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like you literally, like you are on your own pace, like this is how it's happening, and it's only gonna happen this way for you. Like it's not like you're not going to be able to do it like someone else is doing it. Like you're not going to have the same like trajectory of your business as other people. You're not going to have the same trajectory as your YouTube as other people. Like it's just not going to happen that way. And so I think like I was just kind of today, like it literally was today, I like came to this realization. I was just like, why are you stressing yourself out, putting yourself under all this pressure, and like not good pressure, like pressure that just makes me feel like a failure, just to like for no reason, like literally no reason, because I was like, this is not benefiting you in any way. It's not like I'm not putting pressure on myself to do better. Like it's not that I'm like the pressure's there so that I actually do anything. Like I'm doing stuff regardless, and like I'm wanting for it to be successful regardless, but I'm like putting this pressure on myself that just makes me feel crap. It makes me feel like I'm not doing a good job, and I'm like, why? So I get all emotional about this. I think it just like I don't know, it was just one of those realizations that I was just like, I think it also made me realize that like the amount of other people who do this in like other situations within their lives, and I think like also the fact, like obviously I'm not sure if you've watched the videos about Hosea, but as part of Hosea, like our mission is to support young people's self-worth, because self-worth is just so crucial for like everything. Like it's just knowing that you are good enough, that you're worthy, that you're important, that like you can do whatever you put your mind to, kind of thing. Like that's literally what I was like fighting with there in myself, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like it just shows like how I feel like overall I feel like I'd say I have a pretty good self-worth, but like it just showed that like you weren't putting your worth first there. Like you weren't showing that you had self-worth by the way that you were treating yourself. So I'm talking about myself, obviously. And I kind of just like like it literally just like pinpointed even further just like the importance of self-worth, and just like how much we need to like promote that. And like that doesn't necessarily mean that like you're gonna be successful at everything you do, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be good at everything, because none of us are good at everything. Like we just can't be, because like then the whole point of everything would, like if we're all good at everything, then it won't be the point of anything. But like being like knowing that you have worth and value, and just like being happy to find that, because like maybe I'll find out that like it's not like starting my own clothing brand, like that's not where, like that's not what I'm good at. Maybe that I'll find out that actually that's not like a thing that's going to be successful, and like that's also okay. Like obviously I really hope it is, and like I do feel like I have the skill set I do think I have the skill set to do something like this. Like I do think I am able for it, and I think that's a really important thing. But I think like yeah, having self-worth is just so important to like know that you can do what you like want to do, like the dreams that you have, like you can achieve them. And like you don't have to put yourself on anyone else's schedule. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone else's success. Like, do you know? Anyway, this just turned into a TED talk. I feel like I went very off track there, but I feel like I kind of like suppose like let you in. I feel like it's just got darker and darker throughout this video. I feel like I kind of let you in a little bit into like, I suppose how I've been the last little while, what's been going on, how I've been feeling, because to be fair, it's been quite a roller coaster emotionally wise. I think I've gone through times of feeling very disappointed, times of feeling like I wasn't good enough, times of feeling that I was a failure, times of feeling that I was doing really well, and I think I've just got to a point where I'm just like, Debs, you're doing well. Like, you're still here, you're still going. Like, you put your, like, I think even the fact that I've put myself out there to do something like this, and like even doing YouTube and but like whatever it is for you as well, like putting yourself out there and like going for something that you've been like, I really want to try this, and like that is a success. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, maybe you don't become like the next, I don't know, whatever, but like putting yourself out there and going for something that you love and believe in, like that's a success. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And even if it's just in a success in terms like it inspires someone to do what they love, like then that's worth it. Like, obviously, yes, there might be times that you feel like, okay, I tried this and I really wanted for this to work and it didn't work, and like that's okay. It's obviously not a nice feeling per se at the time, but yeah, I suppose what I'm saying is go for the things that you want, like the dreams that you have, like strive for them. And like, I'm getting all inspirational now, but anyway, I feel like I went very off track there, like super off track. Like, I actually don't even really know what I talked about, to be honest. So apologies if it's been long, if it's been rambly, which I'm sure it has. But guys, we'll be back to fun videos next week. We might do some more couples challenges and stuff. If there's any specific ones you'd like to see, please let me know. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thank you again so much for watching. I feel like I've a little bit back like my oomph with YouTube to some degree. I hope you have an absolutely lovely day. It is sunny and actually kind of hot here, so I'm living my best life. Getting our last little bit of summer before autumn comes, because to be fair, I'm kind of really flipping excited about autumn fashion. Like, I cannot wait. I love coats, like, oh, layering. But I'm gonna enjoy the last little bit of sunshine while it's here. But yeah, guys, I hope you have just a wonderful day, and I will chat to you all soon. Thank you so much again for all of your love and support. As always, you guys are amazing, our little community. But yeah, thank you, and I'd love for you to say hi down in the comments if you're a regular watcher, and you haven't, I'd love you to say hi. I really appreciate it. But yeah, have a lovely day. Bye.